couple of weeks after the basketball game, Kurt arrived at the Best Burger corporate headquarters to find Frank and Brian in the lobby. Frank, with the stench of whiskey oozing out of his pores and bearing an insufferable smile, stood close to Kurt. Frank had tried his best to patch himself together following his night of heavy drinking. The dark red spots on his face meant he had made an attempt to shave. His hair, while not unkempt, suggested he'd taken his shower and prepared for work prior to drinking himself to sleep. A strong woman, she had a Napoleonic air about her. Her business suit hugged her build. Her shoulders were twice as wide as her narrow hips. Her hair was straight and seemingly unstyled save for a tight black headband keeping it out of her face. Her skin was pale and her eyes are dark, almost black. Kurt and Brian return to Kurt's house and begin calling friends for work. Less than a week after the blow-up, Kurt and Brian started their jobs with Chuck and Bernie. Back at Chuck's deli, the dinner crowd is constantly being overcharged by Chuck and his employees. Party guests poured into Kurt's basement, draped in white sheets and wearing flip-flops. Kurt and Brian held court at the bottom of the staircase and greeted the guests individually as they descended into what Brian hoped would be a bacchanalia to rival Nero's best. Kurt's party celebrating his independence coincided with a distant bell tolling for Frank, who was stuck at Pointy Foods headquarters being dressed down by company's CEO Michael Sanders. Kurt's basement is pulsing to the sound of the Kingsmen's Louie, Louie. Back at the campsite, things are going horribly wrong. The guys have decided to go fishing by moonlight, all of them except for Chuck, who decided he wasn't feeling well and should stay back and rest. It has been 2 years since Kurt got his promotion at Pointy Foods as a sales manager there. Michael Sanders has retired and a more Frank-friendly CEO has come on board, putting Kurt in an eternal holding pattern as far as promotions. He stays because the money is good and life with Darcy is darn near perfect.